School choice was the
Texas support for education.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. That resolution passes. Chairman Bowen, resolution number 8.
All right, the next resolution is the resolution reaffirming Republican Party of Texas support for educational freedom. And this was a resolution that I authored myself. So I move adoption.
All right. Resolution number 8, reaffirming RPT support for educational freedom. Anybody speaking in favor of the resolution? In favor?
Yeah, I'd like to speak in favor of it. Mr. Chairman, Ralph Fite, SD7. School choice was the 10th legislative, or voted as the 10th priority, and it only failed making the top 8 by 2.14%. Personally, I think educational freedom is a sword I die on. It's the civil rights movement of the 21st century. I think we should all support this. Thank you.
All right. Very good. Anyone against this resolution?
Mr. Chairman, I rise to make an amendment to the resolved clause if that's still acceptable.
The resolution is resolved perfectly.
School choice program available to all Texas students without carve-outs in the 89th legislative session that is consistent with our platform, contains strong protections for private schools. And my amendment is and parochial schools, not homeschools, and provides a realistic private option to all families. So I'm striking homeschools and replacing with parochial school. That's 2 words. And the reason I do that is because in the state of Texas, homeschool is not a legitimate legal term in any code. Because Texas considers
So is there, I guess,
home
is there a second?
educators.
Is there a second? Let's get a second real fast.
Yes, thank you.
Second, okay, thank you. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Texas considers home educators a private school. So that's my reasoning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All righty.
Okay.
In favor, against?
Against.
Against, okay.
Yeah, Scott Bowen, speaking against this, I understand the intent. I realize that as a matter of law, homeschools are protected under the laws that protect private schools, but this is a political document for legislators. And this is a resolution that is expressing our opinion. And so our opinion, as stated without the amendment, is that homeschools should be protected, which they would be. And so I don't want to leave protecting homeschools out because our platform says it, and we want homeschools protected just like everybody else. And so I think taking that out would create an oversight in the resolution that is maybe not intended, but it would definitely be a vacuum that might be used to attack the resolution later. So I would oppose this change. I think private schools and homeschools states our opinion that we want private schools and homeschools protected, even though as a matter of law, they are the same. As a matter of expressing our opinion clearly and making sure we're understood, that is, I think that is something that needs to stay in here. So I'm against this amendment.
Anyone else in favor of this amendment? Anyone else? In favor?
Yes, I'm in favor of the amendment. Basically, the Leaper decision versus Arlington ISD created homeschools as private schools. So if we leave the language as private schools, that does include homeschools. If you single out homeschoolers, it actually leads to the legislators looking at that and saying, hey, this is an opening for us to legislate homeschools in a way that we do not want, and a lot of homeschoolers do not want. So I will tell you, it's better to go ahead and do the amendment as it's shown, just to say private and parochial schools, because homeschoolers are included under private. And anybody who's a homeschooler will know that, and anybody who studies the law will also know that.
All right, so anybody speaking in opposition to, anybody speaking in opposition? So no one else is in opposition. Anybody in favor will take a couple in favor. Favor? One more in favor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Chairman, I'm in favor of adding parochial school because I had to remove my grandchildren from our parochial school because the Houston Independent School District policies had fed over into the parochial school. So they're not protected from public school policies. So I'd like parochial school to be kept in.
All right. So y'all ready to vote? And so we're going to vote on the amendment? I'm sorry? They're telling me we have, we've done
is a
3
motion
for, and
to-
1 against.
Is a motion to amend the amendment, point of inquiry, is a motion to amend the amendment in order at this juncture?
No, the motion is you're wanting to amend
Yeah,
the
can we
amendment.
just say, can we potentially, just as a friendly amendment, could we say protections for private schools, which include homeschools?
Yeah, I think that changes the meaning of what she's trying to get at.
I'm just concerned that, yeah, someone,
the-
well, then I'll speak against it, unfortunately.
Repeat the,
Yeah, I just was wondering if we could say for private schools, which include homeschools,
Oh.
which are homeschools, or whatever words you want to use.
I would not consider that a friendly
Okay.
amendment.
I would gently speak against the amendment then, Chairman.
You can speak gently.
Okay. I am a homeschooler, so and have also done private school and public school, and I
Sure.
know homeschoolers are private schoolers. And I hate to even oppose something you're saying, but on this particular regard, but I'm just concerned because this is a point of contention across our state that somehow school choice is going to affect homeschoolers, right? And so people really want, and I know that there are a lot of homeschoolers who do understand what we're talking about. And what has all been said legally is absolutely true, what Mr. Pickle said, absolutely true. But there are many people just in the overall conversation, like Scott said, that don't get that nuance. And I just don't want someone to take advantage of this somehow in their conversation and claim that we are somehow not fighting for homeschoolers and that somehow school choice would be in opposition to homeschool. I really want to be careful on how we do this, even though I know that what Mr. Pickle is saying and what you're saying is absolutely true. If there's any other route to where we can affirm that we do want to protect homeschools in this resolution, I think it would send a wrong signal to remove that.
And so we have 1 more against, 1 more open. We've had 3 for, we've got 1 against left.
Speaking against.
Against, okay?
Jim Pickle, SD8. We're missing the last line or last word in the sentence right, or the line right above this. This is already talking about private schools, right? And we either have parochial or homeschools, okay? Under the Leaper case, homeschool is considered a private school under Section 29. So when we say private schools, we include homeschools in that. On the other hand, Jeremy's right. There's a lot of kind of contention among people in the state that aren't lawyers, that aren't, statutory scholars or whatever, that a homeschool is somehow different from a private school. So if we leave homeschools in there, I think that's appropriate. But then parochial schools, I think that means religious schools. Parochial means based, and also parochials are also private schools. You're right, good point. So if we just have it just private and homeschools, I think we just have private schools and be done with it. And we falls into the statute, falls into the Leaper decision, we're done. But I think Jeremy's right. I think there's a nuance here for homeschoolers especially who are very sensitive because it's only been about 25 years since they've had their hands on this. And they want their position known. And so I'm against the amendment. I think we go back to the original language. So I speak against it.
All right, very good. So now we are ready to take a vote. So we're going to do a voice vote on this. We've had three opposed, 3 in favor. And so all in favor of what we're doing here, adding parochial schools, striking homeschools, signify by saying aye. All opposed, no. I think the noes have it. And so it reverts back. All right, so now we're back to the original resolution. And are there any more thoughts or
Yes, Chairman.
yes, ma'am?
I move to amend the same paragraph.
Are you amending the resolve?
Leslie Thomas, SD 22.
Are you amending the resolved?
Yes, the
Okay.
same paragraph.
Okay, same. Yes.
Comma after homeschools,
There is one there.
um, an Oxford comma, and rural schools, RURAL, rural schools. And I'd like to speak to my motion, if I get a second.
So is there a second? Okay. And so contains strong protections for private, comma, homeschools, comma, and rural schools, and provides a realistic private option to all families. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason why and I know it walks the line of not being germane. But the reason why I want to include this is because I'm SD over 11 counties, and 9 of those are rural. And every club meeting and committee meeting that I go to, they are overwhelmingly, many unanimously against school choice because they feel like it's going to that's going to kill their schools, that it's going to, they're going to get less funding because the money's going to go into the big cities who have the problems. They're the largest employer in their community. They are the heart of their community, and they're rabidly protective of their school district. That is their cultural center. So that's why I would like to include this.
All right. Anybody
Yes,
in opposition to this change?
Rolando Garcia, SD 15. This amendment is basically saying that we don't support school choice in rural areas, okay? It's saying that we don't support school choice for all parents in Texas. We've made this clear in our platform. We've made this clear in resolutions time and time again that we support school choice for all parents. And I would remind you, the school choice primary ballot proposition won in every county, in every district, including your district, Leslie, and in every county in Texas, overwhelmingly by over 70%. Republicans in rural areas, in suburban areas, in urban areas, in every part of the state overwhelmingly support school choice. And by this is a carve out. We're basically contradicting ourselves. We say without carve outs, and then we're adding a carve out. Okay? This is adding a carve out. Please vote against this and support school choice for every parent.
Thank you. Anybody in favor of this amendment? Anyone in favor? Anybody else in favor?
Since I was called out by name, I'd like to speak again. It's marbled, Orlando. There's no clean fix. And so if you want school choice to pass in west of I-35, then you need to have some recognition of the rural school districts. These school districts are the little engine that could, and they are really trying to hard with many of them. The highest paid person gets $45,000 that teaches there. That's the economics of it. So, Harris, I'm from Dallas County and you're from Harris County. It was hard for me to understand until I came out there and I heard their points of view. And I'm saying that my state senator would have a very hard time supporting school choice if he did not have protection for the rural schools. That's what I'm saying. If you want school choice passed, you need to do something for the rural schools. You need to have some protections for them. And they can't do a private school. They just can't make a private school. In fact, one of them said, the superintendent, I think it's Eastland County, Somerville, don't quote me on that. They said that they might as well shut their schools down and go down the road and open up a private school in order to get more funding. And so I don't know if that's the truth. I don't know if that's TASB, but that's what's being generated out there. And I'm telling you, not one person of these where I go, not one is in favor of school choice, because when they see school choice, they see a threat to their community.
All right. So now, anybody else speaking in opposition to the amendment?
Scott
In opposition.
Bowen, yeah, Scott Bowen, Senate District 6, speaking in opposition, and the data does not agree with what is being said. Republican voters in all of these rural areas are just as supportive of school choice as Republican voters in urban areas. The polling shows it time and again. Basically, every single representative who ran on the ideas that were just expressed, who said the school district is the only employer, who went to their district and made that claim, lost. Glenn Rogers lost. John Kemple lost. All of these people lost because this is not the people in these that if you're hearing from someone in a rural Republican Party who believes that school choice is a threat to rural schools, they believe that because they're being lied to. And we do not need to participate in TASB and the superintendent's lies to people in these rural districts who were trying to turn them against their Republican leaders, including our governor, our lieutenant governor, and their representatives and senators. We don't need to participate in that. We need to tell them the truth and make sure they know that school choice isn't a threat to rural school districts at all. And so that's what we need to do. We need to stand on truth. I'm against this amendment. I'm for the overall resolution, and we need to get this done in this legislative session.
All right, anybody in favor? We got one more in favor and one more against. In favor?
Well, Mr. Chairman, it would be I'd like to see if I could, Brandon Hodges, SD 31. Sorry, I'm new, so I'm trying to keep up with proper protocol. Could I offer a friendly amendment to the amendment, possibly?
Leslie, let us know. Doesn't matter. What's the amendment?
So, and this might not be germane, so please, just for this, I believe that we all believe in school choice and we want to push this forward, but there's really great arguments on both sides.
What's the amendment? What is the amendment?
So could we strike out the rules? Could we amend it and strike out everything and just say contain strong protections for parental choice in all education, and then just not kind of make it more broad? Okay. Is it
Yeah, you just have to
no?
touch that one area, so we're
Thank you.
unable to. So we have 1 for and 1 against. All righty, so let's, you're ready to take the vote? Voice vote? So what we're voting on is the amendment here. It will, as you see in green there, contains protections for private home schools and rural schools and a realistic private option. So all in favor of that amendment signify by saying aye. All opposed say no. I think the noes have it. It'll revert back. All right, and so now we're taking up the entire resolution.
I have an amendment.
You have an
It's
amendment?
a friendly amendment.
A friendly
Yes,
amendment.
I already checked with the author.
Okay.
I'd like to amend, and rather than contains strong protections, maintain strong protections. So it's above, and it would be,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, without objection, we'll make that change. Is that okay? That's a friendly amendment? Perfect. And so we're back to the original resolution. And so seems like we have exhausted all discussion. And so let's press 1A if you're in favor, 2B if you're opposed, and 3C if you are abstaining. All right, looks like the resolution passes overwhelmingly. We have resolution number 9. Uh-oh, hold on one second. We want to get Chairman Bowen up here.
It is. This is the last resolution. However, we do also have standing rules to vote on. So, yeah. But anyway, this will be a fun one. It should go quick. This is the resolution congratulating Attorney General Ken Paxton for securing $1.4 billion data privacy settlement for the state of Texas. And